Pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call on Pastor Guilford Monrose to do the invocation. Pastor Monrose.
Okay, good afternoon, St. Lucians. Good afternoon. All right, good to see all of you lovely people today. It is my great and profound pleasure to be a St. Lucian in the Adam administration, and so we are indebted to him for making sure that we are represented in the halls of City Hall. So we are grateful again. So thank you again. I serve as a faith advisor to the Mayor of New York City and also as the Executive Director of the Office of Faith-Based and Community Partnerships. Let us have a word of prayer. Father, we thank you for us being here today. We thank you for your goodness, your love, your mercy. We thank you, God, for an independence of a people who are progressive, who are hardworking, who have come to America to not only chase the American dream, but to be the American dream. We thank you today for all who have joined. We pray for success, not only in our country in St. Lucia, but also in New York City and across this country. We ask that your blessing will continue to be on our islands, our blessing will continue to be on those who are here in the diaspora, and also too for the city and the mayor, Eric Adams, his administration, those in the St. Lucia Consulate, those of the St. Lucia House Foundation, all of the organizations. We ask God your blessings, your profound blessings, on all of those who come to make this place a better place. We thank you for the opportunity to serve in New York City. As we lift our head proud to be St. Lucians, let us represent in a way that is pleasing to you. As we say thanks in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Monrose. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable delegates, I just want to recognize protocol. And in sitting, we have the Honorable Edward Memelstein, Commissioner of the International Affairs, representatives from the Consulate Generals of Jamaica, Haiti, and Trinidad in New York. Pastor Guilford Monrose, of course, Director of Faith-Based and Clergy Initiatives of the Mayor's Office. Bon fête tout le monde. Mama ladi quick? Achwamba, it is the 44th birthday of St. Lucia's independence. And when I woke up this morning, I told my son that St. Lucia is 44. And funny enough, out of the mouth of babes, he said, Daddy, 44? Like 44, zietizi, nekaka, bushtazo, matoflewi, tiki. So I told him, yes, Coco, just like that, 44. So I just want to make recognition of Devant ensemble. Devant ensemble, it reminds me of an old African adage where if you want to go somewhere quickly, you go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you go with your brothers and your sisters. So devant ensemble, we're going forward together. One people shaping our destiny. And we have that common factor with every single one of us here today, that we're moving forward together, and then we're going to face all of the tribulations together, and we're going to go far together, right? So Mama Ladi quick? Very nice. Now, next we'd like to call on Mr. Arthur Piccolo, the chairman of the Bowling Green Association, to give our welcoming remarks.
I believe it's 83 degrees on St. Lucia right now, and it's 43 degrees here. But Consul General, I'm glad you decided to celebrate on this island rather than back home. This is the first time St. Lucia has raised its flag at Bowling Green. And as I say to every country the first time it does it, you have now made a pledge to return here every year, again, year after year, for generations to come. And years from now, when we're all gone, St. Lucians will come here and remember that day on February 22nd, 2023, for the first time that a group came here under the leadership of Consul General Hyacinth and raised the flag. Today's a particularly good day to raise the flag for another reason. Today is George Washington's birthday. George Washington would have very much have appreciated what we're doing here today. He came here to Bowling Green to also end British rule in this country, to celebrate the end of our struggle, which was a bit different than yours, but it was independence for the United States in 1783 when George Washington rode into New York City, came all the way down here to Bowling Green for one purpose only, to watch the last British flag still flying anywhere in the former colonies. The last one still up, taken down, and replaced by the American flag, the 13-star flag. And it's why we fly the 13-star flag here. This is and was the most famous flag raising in American history, and there is no better place for St. Lucia to raise its flag than right here at Bowling Green. This is also our mayor, who has become so fond of Bowling Green and who has been here, I believe, 20 times last year. This will be his first flag raising this year when he arrives in a little while. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Keep coming back, and happy Independence Day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Piccolo. And now we'd like to call on a lovely young lady to do the National Pledge of St. Lucia. I'm calling on Miss Rhea Edward.
Good afternoon.
Speak close to the mic, baby.
With God as my guide, I pledge allegiance to my country, St. Lucia. I proclaim that I will serve my country with pride and dignity and will defend it with vigor and valor in the pursuit of excellence, justice, and equality for all.
Wonderfully done, Miss Edward. We're in good hands with the youth, you know. I'm telling you that much. Next, I'd like to call on a very good friend of mine, a very good friend of a lot of us. We'd like to call on the Consul General, Honorable Jeremiah Hyacinth, to St. Lucia's Consul General in New York City, to have some general remarks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I must also, protocol has already been established, but I just want to recognize my good friend, Mr. Ronnie McIntosh. He's the Consul General for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Bonjour tout le monde. I bring you greetings from our office, the Consulate General of St. Lucia in New York, and also from our Prime Minister, the Honorable Philippe J. Pierre. Good afternoon to the many distinguished guests, fellow St. Lucians, and friends of St. Lucia who have gathered here to help us celebrate our beloved St. Lucia's 44th anniversary of independence. Thank you. Your presence here on this momentous occasion is a moving testament to the love of our beautiful island, St. Lucia, and to your pride in being counted among its citizens. I bring you greetings on behalf of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philippe J. Pierre, the Honorable Alva Baptiste, our External Affairs Minister, and all the members of Cabinet of Ministers. Regrettably, Her Excellency Ms. Manisa Rambali, our Ambassador to the United Nations, is unable to attend due to an overseas engagement. Nonetheless, she is certainly here in spirit. We are gathered to raise aloft the cerulean banner that symbolizes St. Lucia as we celebrate this important milestone. Why is this flag so important? And why do so many people become so invested in flags? I was reminded of the flag's power over the past few days while we watched a number of independence activities in St. Lucia over the past weekend, that is. I witnessed scores of St. Lucians displaying and joyously waving the St. Lucian flag. Young and old alike draped themselves in the colors of our Helen of the West and paraded them in a manner imaginable as a symbol of unity and hope. Potent in its ability to stir emotion, the flag represents an idea or an ideal. It's neither a mere decoration nor an object to be honored for itself. It is venerated for what it represents. We are fiercely proud people and will shortly see our own St. Lucian flag being hoisted along the American flag, and a homage to the hundreds of people who now call this great city home. To the many ways in which St. Lucia continues to enhance the very fabric of this great city is reflected in the official theme for this year's celebration. Devant ensemble, one people shaping our destiny. My fellow St. Lucians, please know that the Prime Minister of St. Lucia recognizes your contributions to both your own and your adopted country. He sincerely appreciates your continued connection and interaction with the homeland and looks forward to your continued strengthening of that bond. At this point, it's only fitting to call attention to the contributions of two individuals of St. Lucian parentage. First, I would like to recognize the work of a visionary who is a proud member of Mayor Adams's administration, Pastor Guilford Monrose. Where is he? He stepped away. We are proud of you and your achievements, Pastor Monrose. I'd like to also pay tribute to a dear friend and daughter of St. Lucia who was scheduled to be here, Anne-Marie Adamson, for the role that she's playing in this amazing city. Thank you, Anne-Marie. We adore you. In closing, I would like to thank everyone who has taken time to celebrate with us today. It means a great deal to me and the entire staff at the Consulate General of St. Lucia in New York. Let's move forward as one people and one nation towards our shared destiny. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Hyacinth. Now I'd like to call on Ms. Shauna Dantes and Ms. Salvia Joseph, did I say that right? To give us a beautiful rendition of Beautiful Isle.
We would like you all to stand for the song. It's a sing-along, so we ask that you join us in singing. The song is to the back of your program.
Saint Lucia, Helen of the West, land of green hills, by nature's best, steep mountains rising from the sea, and valleys spreading verdantly. Come on, St. Lucian, majestic pitons. Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. Distinguished men have graced thy past. Their deeds of fame for thee amassed. Creative skills in arts and crafts, burst from their ingenuous hearts. Majestic Piton, Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. May wisdom guide our hearts and minds in carrying out progressive plans. May leaders always be upright in this land of hope and light. Majestic Piton, Sulphur Springs, Saint Lucia, land of beauty and sings.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shauna Dantes and Ms. Zalvia Joseph, for that wonderful rendition. Now I'd like to call on the Honorable J. Andre Laveau, Consul General and Consulate General of Trinidad and Tobago, member of CARICOM and Consular Corps, to provide us with the Diplomatic Corps remarks. Mr. Laveau.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd first like to thank Ambassador Menisa Rambali and the Honorable Jeremiah Hyacinth for inviting me to give these remarks. I would also like to recognize, of course, the Venerable Eddie Memelstein, probably our most important interlocutor in this city, and city officials, consuls general, their excellencies, ambassadors, present if any, members of the St. Lucia diaspora, Caribbean people, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say a big happy independence, St. Lucia. I take real pleasure in congratulating you. There's a boast that I make. I am the most St. Lucian of all Trinis, because about 40 years ago I went to university, UWI, Cave Hill, and I played on this football team that was dominated by St. Lucians. It was a squad of 15, and there were 13 St. Lucians and 1 Barbadian and 1 Trini. That's me, all right? And St. Lucian, your people absolutely impressed me from the very beginning. I tried learning your language. I gave up because one time I tried to greet a friend, and he responded. He said, "Trini, it's not soca fet." Or you know what I tried to say, all right? Okay. So I gave up right there, okay? But I must say, in all seriousness, your St. Lucians have always impressed me. You know what impresses me about you St. Lucians is how blessed you realize that you are for the country that you've been given by God. And I think every people should take an example from that. The St. Lucians that I met were always extremely talented. And of course, this was 40 years ago. Your country would have been just 5 years old. And I met so many impressive thinkers in that period. Just people who were undaunted by the size of their country, and just who thought that they could actually change the world. And that really impressed me. The Guild president at UWI at that time was quite an illustrious St. Lucian national. And I can call name after name people who have gone on to be ministers, musicians, stalwarts in the media and so on, who I was blessed to know, and I'm still in contact with them today. So I won't take up much of your time. Just really want to say I have also been impressed with how you support your consulate and the level of activity that comes out of that's centered in St. Lucia House. And I know that's just one venue, that's a central venue, but I know that you're a vibrant community, and as one Caribbean national to many, I would like to say thank you for your contribution to making the Caribbean, giving the Caribbean such a shiny image in the United States. Again, if I may boast a little bit further about my St. Lucian credentials, one of your 2 Nobel Prize winners, which is incredibly impressive for a tiny country like yours. 2 Nobel Prize winners. Sir Arthur Lewis. I grew up studying Sir Arthur Lewis, and I grew up calling the other Nobel Prize winner, I call him Uncle Derek, because he was my father, in fact, was his close associate for over 50 years in theater. So I grew up loving and knowing Uncle Derek and his wife Margaret and his children, and I am thoroughly impressed with what you have done as a nation. So again, I want to say a big congratulations to you, and God's blessings upon St. Lucia on this 44th anniversary. And may you continue to do great things that belie your size and your age. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Andrea Laveau, for these wonderful remarks. It begs the question, did you score any goals in... We'll reserve comments on that. Okay. I'd just like to recognize the director of the Strategic Projects Emblem Health in New York City, Miss Anne-Marie Adamson. Welcome. At this point in time, this next individual requires no introduction, but for protocol's sake, I would like to call on Mr. Matthias Wilkie, the president of the St. Lucia House Foundation, to do the community greetings. Corpet.
Protocol has already been established. As we celebrate St. Lucia's independence under the theme, Duversum, one people, shaping our destiny, I bring you greetings on behalf of the Board of Directors, Advisory Board, and members of the St. Lucia House Foundation. As we think about our theme, I've heard so many different definitions, all very fitting. But the biggest thing that it speaks about is unity. And our role at St. Lucia House is simply to try to unite. Not a very easy task, but something that we continue to do and strive to do daily as we go about our business. It is fitting to see so many St. Lucians out here, as cold as it is, so give yourself a round of applause for that. Of course, we celebrating 44 years. We're no longer that young. We're getting old. So, you know, as we do this, I simply want to wish everybody a happy Independence anniversary, and I look forward to seeing you as we continue to build bridges to make St. Lucia better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matthias Wilkie. Next, we have a special presentation from the illustrious Ras Yaya, St. Lucian poet, giving us a wonderful set of words. Hail the Iras.
Bonne fête, Saint Lucien. You know, my name is Yaya, and you know I love my island. Happy independence to you guys. You see, under golden sun and blue skies, a volcanic isle arise. 238 square miles of beauty she possesses. Located 40 degrees north and 60 degrees west from the equator, and was first named Ionola. Between the ocean and the sea, Belti pays nous couiller cette sea. For upon this isle I came alive, a naval string reside. A land where Nobel laureates reign, for Helen they proclaim. Majestic pitons, sulfur springs, vegetation lush, mountain green, and beauty so serene. When sunlight fades, shadows beam, Luna illuminates the light. My optic gives stare to the sky as shooting stars in flight. Like songs composed, sweet music echoes, creatures of the night. Raindrops falling on tin roof, your eardrums to the beat. Mamas singing babies lullabies as they lay their heads to sleep. Darkness fading, a new day is dawning, scent of morning fills the air. Birds chirping, roosters crowing, welcomes morning, the sun begins to stare. This beautiful isle of sunshine glare, place salam me kai toujours aimé. Même si nous étions l'Amérique l'Angleterre, nous avons toujours resté cette lycéen. Pas qu'à jamais oublier, place salam nous quitter, pour un jour nous avons vivre. Bel petit pays cette lycée, my fête avec sortie, will always be home to me. For upon this isle I came alive and will defend it with my life. Wherever I go, I will let it be known, St. Lucia, born and grown. Wherever I roam, I will let it be known. This land is home, sweet home. Thank you.
I could almost smell the châtaigne roasting when that man's talking. Blessings, Farai. At this point, I'd like to call on, don't want to mess up, Honorable Edward Memelstein, the Commissioner of International Affairs, to say some short remarks. Ed?
Thank you so much. Hard to follow such beautiful words. Thank you again. My name is Edward Mermelstein. I represent the Mayor's Office of International Affairs. I am happy to join Mayor Adams, my fellow members of the administration, Council General Hyacinth, and our other esteemed Council Generals, and anyone else from the diplomatic community that I may have not seen come in, apologies. The Bowling Green Association, and all of you that are celebrating the anniversary of St. Lucia's independence. New York is the home to a vibrant and dynamic Caribbean community who contribute immensely to the city's culture and its economy. I look forward to working with the Council General of St. Lucia, my colleagues, and St. Lucian community to get, as the mayor likes to say, stuff done for New Yorkers. Congratulations, St. Lucia, on 44 years of independence and prosperity, and a successful year as a parliamentary republic. Thank you all once again. I try to keep it a little shorter, thinking that this is going to be a longer introduction, but I will hand it over to our esteemed colleague.
Thank you very much, Mr. Honorable Edward Memelstein, for those kind words. At this point in time, I'd like to call on Ms. Anne-Marie Adamson, the Director of Strategic Projects for Emblem Health in New York City, to say for short words.
So, good afternoon, good morning. What is it? We got to morning already. So I'm here not representing Emblem Health. I work for them, but I'm here as a St. Lucian. And I am so proud to stand before you on this day. I want to thank the Councils General. I want to thank St. Lucia's Council General Hyacinth. Jeremiah is like my friend. He calls me all the time. He keeps me abreast. And he sent me this invitation, and I kind of forgot it because we've been dealing with a lot of stuff. And then I got a call from the mayor's office, and they said, "Are you going to be there?" And I said, "Of course I will." I remember the first day St. Lucia raised the flag in Brooklyn, over Borough Hall. We were all there. That was the first time St. Lucia had raised the flag in Brooklyn. And so we've come a long way. We're raising a flag in Manhattan right now. And we're proud of that, because we're proud of the work St. Lucians have been doing, not only in their island nation, but here in America. You have become part of the fabric, a growing part of the fabric. In Brooklyn, you are important. You represent a large voting bloc, because you vote. We have made ourselves impactful here. As small as we are, as the Jamaicans say, I see my Jamaican counterpart here. As small as we are, we Talawa. The Jamaicans like to say that. St. Lucia is the smallest, and we are Talawa. And we have over the last couple of years, seen this island nation and its people, the work we do at the St. Lucian House. Thank you for that. And what we'd like to see is more of this, because the economic growth of the St. Lucians in America is the economic growth of St. Lucians back home. We know that we have to do that. We have to take care of our island nations. And I know every one of you stand here every time you come and say, as soon as I land in America, in 20 years, I'm going back home. Sometimes 20 years still find you here. So remember, your participation here is important too. But keep our island nation in love and in hope. 44 years. We're proud of her. I remember the day that happened. Okay, that's not telling my age. I shouldn't say that one. But 44 years. 44 years as an independent nation is something to be very proud of. A nation that has never been disrupted by any civil violence or civil, civil violence as a nation. We have maintained a peaceful, simply beautiful island. And for that, each one of you is responsible. And so today, we keep St. Lucia in our prayers. We keep our Consul General in our heart. He's an amazing guy. He's doing great things for the community. He gets involved. He gets engaged. He gets it. And I want us to support him for that. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Ms. Adamson. At this point in time, I'd like to call on the Consul General for St. Vincent, Honorable McIntosh, to say a few words.
Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting to speak, but as a Consul General, everywhere you go, just be prepared. Now, first, let me adopt the protocol that has already been established. And I only do that because it's cold, so I don't want to go through the long list. If I go to the windward side of my country, I can almost throw a stone and hit St. Lucia. That is how close we are. So I always consider Lucia, as we call it, to be our closest sister island. And I am really so proud of the Lucians and how they love their country and the things they do and the things they say. I know my counterpart, Consul General of Trinidad, he spoke about being more or less an honorary Lucians because he played with a soccer side with some Lucians, and his dad was a close, comrade of the Nobel Peace Prize winner. But he never once mentioned that he set foot in St. Lucia, so I think I will beat you on that. Because at one time, I almost thought I was Lucian. Because when I started working at Cable and Wireless in the year 2001, I attended the Cable and Wireless College in St. Lucia. I was there about 2 or 3 times. And then I am an entertainer. Just took a break on this sojourn. So I used to be in St. Lucia a lot. I played on the road. I played in the clubs. I made a guest appearance at the OECS Soca Monarch as well. And my sister-in-law was also living in St. Lucia, so I would be there all the time. And I go to the Grocery, and I go in the market and listen to country and western something up to today. I try to understand why Lucians love country and western so. Somebody will explain that to me. But I want to say that independence is something we should not take for granted. And especially our small islands. We are not like the Trinidad who has the oil and the pitch lake. Just think about a government taking on the role of an entire country and a people without natural resources. And that is how you know our people, we are strong, we are resilient, and we go out boldly, knowing that it's going to be a hard task, but whatsoever the future brings, we are going to stick together, we're going to fight, and we're going to achieve. So, St. Lucia, I want to wish you all the best. I know of your contributions here in the United States and back home. And one word of caution, not because we are living here in this great land, you must never forget where you come from. Always send something home. Make a call. Remember your parents and remember your families back at home and your friends. Never forget that land, because at any day we may want to go back home and settle. So St. Lucia, happy independence. Have a great one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable McIntosh. I have a question. Honorable McIntosh, is it true that when you from St. Vincent look at St. Lucia, it looks like an alligator? You never check that? Okay. Next time, just take a look. Yes. Now, we have the dubious distinction as St. Lucians. Our island is the only country in the world named after a woman. Did you all know that? No wonder. Fair Helen. Yes, correct. So, you know, being a St. Lucian, it feels good to be in the bosom of Fair Helen and sharing Fair Helen with the rest of the world. That's why when they come to the Pitons, it's obvious. She's a woman. Right now, I'd like to call on Honorable Benjamin from Jamaica, another one of our sister islands, to say some remarks. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, St. Lucians all. I'll also take the opportunity to wish you all the best on behalf of my Consul General, who unfortunately is traveling, so she couldn't be here. But I know that she would want me to wish you all the best on your independence. As was said before, the independence of any nation is something to be treasured. Self-determination is something that we all strive for and that we must preserve going forward. But I also would like to share my St. Lucian credentials, that I have been to St. Lucia twice. So Ambassador Laveau, I think you have to fix that. I have been there twice, and it's one of the countries that I actually love going to. My friends, if, you know, for those of us who are Caribbean persons who have studied at the University of the West Indies, we meet people from every country across the region, and we always strive to visit. So when I went to St. Lucia for the first time, I was like, okay, I now understand why everybody wanted us to come and visit your island. It's beautiful. I always found the food. There's a bakery that you guys have in Castries that I was... See, that I had to go there and have fresh bread on a Saturday afternoon. And so, yes, congratulations again. Enjoy the celebrations. Keep working hard. Keep going home. Keep sending home and building, but also building where you live now. Congrats and have a great day.
I think that was Amma Bakery. Amma. And don't forget the cheese with that bread, eh? Okay. At this point in time, I'd like to call on the honorable gentleman from Haiti. Sac passé, monsieur? How come St. Lucian says sac à fête and Haiti says sac passé? Anybody know the reason for that?
The same thing.
Same thing, okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Claudine Fils. I'm coming on behalf of the General Council of Haiti, Mrs. Marie-André Ami. Unfortunately, she can't be present today. Devant ensemble, a lot of people try to connect with St. Lucia by visiting. But thanks God we connect by some language, some Creole heritage. Devant ensemble nous forts, almost same thing. Together we are stronger. Happy Independence Day. God bless you.
Merci, Abil. I'd like to call on Dan Thomas from Slaker to say a few words. Mr. Thomas, love that jacket, man.
Thank you so much. I too would like to recognize the dignitaries who are here. I'm adopting rather the protocol having been established. I want to take this opportunity to wish every one of my St. Lucian brothers and sisters a splendid anniversary of independence celebration. I thought St. Lucians would clap when I said that, but it looks like you guys are not happy to. It is cold, and forgive me, I have been sitting here for over an hour, so you could tell that I am. But we are a very proud, as has been said before, St. Lucians are very proud people, and we are elated every time our independence celebration comes around. I want to thank in particular, especially the Consul General of St. Lucia in New York, especially the Consul General Hyacinth, for taking this opportunity to put this together, to allow St. Lucians an opportunity, even here in the diaspora, to celebrate with our natives back in St. Lucia our independence anniversary. So thank you again for allowing me to bring you greetings, and let us wish toute Saint Lucie un bonne fête anniversaire. Thank you.
At this point in time, I'd like to recognize Sheldon Anthony, Honorable Sheldon Anthony from Dominica. Where is he? Oh, okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon, St. Lucia. Happy anniversary, St. Lucia. And I heard all the talks about St. Lucia being there twice. I've been there 4 times. And if anyone from St. Lucia were to go back to the archives of Radio St. Lucia, somewhere in there you'll find that my voice is reading Radio St. Lucia news at 1. So I'm very much St. Lucian, being a Dominican, especially where the village I'm from in Dominica, it's called St. Joseph. And it's very, very identical to Gros-Islet. So my 4 times Gros-Islet was to be there Friday night. And this is something I'm looking forward in going to this year. So I want to take this time to congratulate CG Hyacinth and his staff for a job well done. And I also want to take the opportunity to wish each and every St. Lucian a happy independence. It's 44 years of independence. As a human being, 44 years, you maybe start planning retirement, but there will be no retirement for St. Lucia, because St. Lucia is going to become a better nation as time goes. So in the meantime, be proud, and congratulations to all.
Thank you very much, sir. At this point in time, I'd like to call on Commissioner Castro to say a few words. Commissioner Castro.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I'm Manuel Castro. I'm the Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. I want to first thank Bowling Green Association and Arthur Piccolo. Where's Arthur? Oh, hey, Arthur. For this great partnership in being able to raise the flags of both our countries, the United States, and that of our immigrant nationalities. Since we began this partnership, it's just been a tremendous honor to celebrate with different immigrant communities here in such an important location, not just for New York City, but for the entire country. To be able to raise our flags is to be able to say that we're proud to be both immigrant and American. And so I'm just incredibly proud to be here today to raise St. Lucia's flag, but most importantly to celebrate with the diaspora in the community that has made New York City their home, and to say that New York City is a city of immigrants, a city that is inclusive of everyone, no matter if you arrived yesterday or decades ago. we celebrate our cultural traditions. And so I am incredibly proud to also be here with Commissioner Edward Mermelstein and his team at the Mayor's Office of International Affairs, who we've partnered over the last year to bring together our diaspora community and the consulates and the embassies to make sure that that relation is strengthened and to make sure that our diasporas feel connected both to New York, to the United States, and their home countries. As you know, we've been welcoming tens of thousands of newly arrived immigrants over the last 9 months. And I'm just so happy that New York City continues to be a beacon of hope for so many across the world, and it continues to be so. And under Mayor Eric Adams' leadership, New York City can truly be that beacon for hope for everyone, not just around the world, but here in New York City. I'm supposed to introduce the mayor, but I think he's a few minutes out. You're introducing the mayor. Pastor Monroe will introduce the mayor shortly. Please do reach out. I want to also highlight many of my colleagues, staff members at the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, Angel, who you've probably met leading up to this event, Shaina Coronel, who's back here. Please connect with them to make sure that we continue to celebrate St. Lucia throughout the year, not just today, this week, but to continue to celebrate both in the communities where the diaspora lives. I know there's large communities both in Brooklyn and Queens. We want to make sure that we are in constant communication, connecting the community with services and resources available through city government. And most importantly, for those who are newly arrived to New York City, that they feel welcome, that they know that the city is there to support, and that they can trust in us for whatever emergencies and needs they have. So again, I'm very happy to celebrate with the community here, to be with Council General and with so many community groups represented here. Special shout out to the St. Lucia House Foundation. I don't know if you're here. Oh, yes. And to the St. Lucian American Christian Association. And I like to highlight the community groups here because they're so important in their partnership with city government to be able to make sure that our communities know that we're here for them. I know that you are often trusted and you are leaders in the community, and we couldn't do this work without you. So thank you so much for being here and participating with us. With that, thank you so much, and we'll introduce the mayor once he arrives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Castro. So I have a very interesting connection with the independence of St. Lucia. In 1979, there was the Calypso competition for the Independence Calypso King of St. Lucia. And does anybody know who won that crown? The mighty Michael Albertine. I am his son, Michel. And my dad wrote a calypso that won that competition. I'm not going to sing the whole thing, but just an excerpt of it. It went like this. It went, "We are jumping the fence into independence, and we make no pretense. We are jumping the fence into independence. Colonial St. Lucia is past tense. We are free. Look at you, look at me. We are free. Can't you see? Say we are free." Do awesome? Do awesome? Ouais. Is he here? Okay, at this point in time, I'd like to open up the floor. Is there anybody here who would like to say a few words on behalf of the 44th anniversary as proud St. Lucians? My lady? What's your name?
Celia, better known as Deborah.
We have Celia here, better known as Deborah. She's going to say a few words.
I am happy to go back to work and tell them I'm taking 2 hours leave because I ran away from my lunch break and it's gone past that. St. Lucians, as you can see, I have my flag, I'm wearing this, and I have this representing Black History Month. What I'd like to say, we are blessed that we are celebrating our independence in the month that was chosen to recognize Black history. So although we are St. Lucians, please participate in the democracy here because we live here. I want to thank all of you for coming out, and I want to thank you especially for supporting Black businesses. I went to the young people's meet and greet that our esteemed Jeremiah put on. It was held at Suede Restaurant, which I own with my sons. And the number of young business people that came out, it was great. So hopefully next year, we see more St. Lucians with their businesses and support them. God bless St. Lucia.
At this point in time, I'd like to call on Pastor Monrose.
All right, so listen, as I said to you before, being a son of St. Lucian immigrants, it is really a profound pleasure to be able to have worked for the mayor for 13 years now, and I think that for us in our community, it's something that we can celebrate. And so he sees in all of us who we are, not because of where we're from, but who we are, who we have become, and what we want to become, and the contribution that we can make to the city. So I'm very grateful to the Mayor of New York City. And on behalf of the St. Lucian community, I want to welcome the Mayor of New York City to all of you, and all of you, please receive the Mayor of New York City, Eric Adams.
Thanks so much, Pastor, for being just a friend and an advisor throughout the years. I remember traveling with him together as we visit many of the Caribbean diaspora during our time together in Brooklyn Borough Hall. I remember raising the flag as the borough president outside the Borough Hall. And I want to thank your Council General Hyacinth, for his friendship and being a strong voice. My Commissioner Mermerstein, and his team, we've done some amazing things together. One thing I'm clear on, this is not St. Lucian weather. Why was this not done in the summertime? This is not too cold, and I have a rich staffer who never let me forget. Brad never let me forget that he's from St. Lucia. Your dad is here. Your father's here. Okay. All right. You did a great job with him. But 10,000 strong, very powerful population. When you do an analysis of how close our election was, you begin to really benefit and understand how 10,000 people unified together can send a powerful message. Coming from Brooklyn, which is the Caribbean diaspora of America, we have the largest Caribbean population in the borough of Brooklyn than anywhere in the country. And your contribution as small business owners, believing in education, believing in public safety, believing in faith and understanding the power of our religious belief, and also believing that in New York City you have a lot of idiots that you have to ignore as you move forward. Understanding this community has been just an amazing relationship throughout the years. I cannot thank you enough. And for the first time, you are raising your flag here at Bowling Green. For the first time, it is stating that your contributions to this city is not only localized to the borough of Brooklyn, but throughout the entire city. This is a very significant moment. We've raised many of our other countries, their flags here, because we want to send a loud and clear message that this is a country of diversity. No one knows it better than New York City. So I thank you. 44 years of independence, and on behalf of the 8.5 million people in our city, I want to give this to the Council General.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I'm right here.
Whereas St. Lucia's Official theme for this year's anniversary is Duvan Asan. Assam, one people, shaping our destiny, which inspires me to take this opportunity to recognize the invaluable contributions and rich heritage of New York's vital St. Lucian community. At today's ceremony in Manhattan's historic Bowling Green Park, St. Lucians, New Yorkers will commemorate their homeland's independence by raising its colorful flag. And I just want to thank you. I, Eric Adams, the mayor of the city of New York, February 22nd, 2023, in the city of New York, St. Lucian Heritage Day. Congratulations. Good to see you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate it. Let's take a photo.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Quickly, we have a special gift for the mayor. We'll present it to you, sir.
On behalf of the people of St. Lucia and myself and my company, I would like to present this token handmade by myself that my company makes here in Brooklyn that would have to present you with this scarf that features the flag, the St. Lucia flag.
Put it in. Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. What's a picture? What's a picture?
Yeah, you get the folks. You get the diplomatic.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Members of the Taylor?
Thank you.
Okay, good. Gotta come and give you business, make a suit. Yes, sir, brother, good.
We're doing a
Yes.
photo before the flag raise.
How are you? Good.
I'd like to call on Mr. Kieran DeTurville to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You don't have to do the other one? All right, we're going to join in the singing of the St. Lucia National Anthem. Sons and daughters of St. Lucia, love the land that gave us birth, land of peaches. Bonne fête tout le monde.